Hello garden lovers! This week at Southern California Gardening, it's all about peppers and tomatoes. Although we have been harvesting some watermelon, we've got some cantaloupes that are looking beautiful, some berries on the vine, lots of asparagus, some cucumbers. Subscribe to be notified for our upcoming garden tours. We have a lot growing and we've changed some things up from last season. Back here, this beautiful, huge slicer. It's my favorite tomato variety, Kellogg's Breakfast. So, how is your garden doing? What are the struggles that you're already seeing? We all have them. The garden starts off beautiful and strong, and then the heat kicks in and the plants start to get beat up a bit. Here in this raised bed, which is also a greenhouse in the winter months, we are experiencing some issues that we're working on identifying. You could see here this Thai chili plant looks wilted. It was pretty bad yesterday afternoon. And this black magic jalapeno back here, same, was very, very wilted, but so was this jalapeno in the corner. You could see this one's perked up. So, is it verticillium, wilt, a fungal infection? I am not convinced of that yet because there hasn't been a bunch of yellowing leaves at the bottoms dropping, but they are growing next to this Carolina Reaper, and this plant looks very unhealthy. So not sure if this plant has a fungal issue and it's spreading to the others. So we're going through a problem-solving process. First thing was we checked the soil. Was it too dry and the plants were really struggling in the heat? This greenhouse, you could see there's a block wall back there holding up the hill. It gets very hot in here. So as you could see behind these tomato plants, that shade cloth, there's a shade cloth behind this bed as well that gets draped over during the hottest time of the day, which sounds silly because peppers love the heat, but young pepper plants can definitely struggle if it's too hot. Here is a super beautiful jalapeno tree. It's a tree because look at the base of it. It looks like a little tree trunk. But this is on its third year growing in this greenhouse. It overwinters here really well. We prune it back, and then each new season, all of this beautiful growth comes out. We get lots of delicious big jalapenos off of this plant. But even though this plant could take the heat, these younger plants do struggle if it gets too hot in here. So it definitely wasn't that the plants were struggling being too dry. The soil was very moist. So the next step in problem solving was remove all of the fruit. You can see all these Thai chilies. They were on this plant, and there was lots of small and larger jalapenos on that black magic jalapeno plant. So I harvested all of the jalapenos. Really, it looked pretty silly. The plant was weighed down with all kinds of jalapenos. So harvested all of the peppers and all the Thai chilies. Got them fed with a liquid fertilizer to give them some nutrients, and gonna get them covered up today with a shade cloth and see how they do. Hopefully it's not vert, because if it is, it's a huge problem. These plants will not recover from that and will need to be removed before it travels to all of the other pepper plants in here. And not all overwintering goes well. I guess it depends on the pepper plant. This one is an overwintered red habanero, and it's not doing as well as the jalapeno over there, but it is getting some beautiful growth, and we do have some blossoms. So hopefully it's going to fill out. We will see. So before I get the shade cloth over this bed, I'm going to remove this plant. Hate to do it, but there are some signs that this plant is very unhealthy. See if I could zoom in here on the stem. You could see all the discoloration and the browning. It does have new leaf growth, and this is an overwintered chili plant, which actually struggled last year. This is, like I mentioned before, a Carolina Reaper, and I have yet to try a Carolina Reaper. This will be my first year trying that pepper, but this plant's going to be removed. And I did find this beautiful one at the nursery, so I will definitely be trying my first Carolina Reaper this year. Once I remove the plant at the stem, if there is a brown ring, then that will confirm that it is experiencing vert, which is verticillium wilt. All right, so I got to put the phone down and get this guy cut, and let's see what we find. All right, so you could see here, I did not cut the whole Reaper plant down. I decided to check one of the big branches to see if it has signs of verticillium wilt. And one way you're able to tell if the plant is infected with verticillium wilt, you'll see a brown ring on the inside of the stem. And here you'd see that there is no browning. There is an image online that showed, and I'll attach it here in the upper right corner. You can see how the stem is discolored and brown, but the inside of the stem is healthy. So very good news. That doesn't mean that there isn't some other type of fungal thing going on in here, but thankfully it does not appear to be vert. And I wanted to share this resource with you guys because it is excellent. I learned all kinds of stuff about vert, and you could find this resource. It's by Stefan Kolho at morningchores.com. He does an excellent job covering vert. I highly recommend checking out that resource. So hopefully these guys are going to recover. Another thing that would normally affect our pepper plants, and it would be the first thought in my mind of why the plants were struggling. And if you follow our channel, then you know that we have a huge grub problem every year. The grubs start chewing on the roots and eventually chew all of the roots to where the plant has no root base, and it kills the plant. But we did our nematode application, and all signs so far are showing that we do not have grubs in our raised beds. They're definitely around, but we treated our raised beds, and so far any digging that I do, I am not coming across any of those little jerks. So I really don't think this is a grub issue. I'm hoping that the plants were just so overburdened with lots and lots of chilies, which made them struggle in the heat since they are pretty young plants. So got them all harvested. We'll get the shade cloth over them and see how they do. All right, it's been over a week, and I ended up removing the struggling pepper plants. You could see here I completely removed the Carolina Reaper. It just looked like it had some issues. It looked like it had some type of fungal disease. I don't know that for sure, but didn't want to take any chances, so removed that completely. Also removed the Thai chili that was right here. It did not recover after several days. Same with the black magic that was in the back. And we have lots of extra chili plants, so decided to replace them with some healthy plants. Start over in this section of our raised bed. Plus, this is our overwintered chili bed, so we want to make sure that the plants in here are healthy. But you could see back here in the corner, today this guy is wilted and struggling, just like it was the other week. And what's different is today I did not cover them with the shade cloth. It's about 10 degrees cooler here today, so wanted to see how they do, and apparently that guy is still too young to take the extreme heat. Even though it's 90 today, back in that corner up against the wall, it's much hotter. And not just that plant, these other guys are doing fine, but back here is a baby ghost pepper, and it's perked up a little bit, but a few minutes ago, before I gave it a little bit of water to cool off, it was completely wilted and bent over. So this basically confirms what I initially thought was going on in this bed, and that is it's just getting too hot for the young pepper plants. Once they get more established, like this beautiful early jalapeno and even those habaneros, they'll be able to take the extreme heat. For now, we're going to get them covered with the shade cloth, and just that little bit of barrier helps so much. All right, that's it for now. For more short videos on how to grow food in Southern California, hit the subscribe button. Remember, something doesn't come from nothing. I hope you guys enjoy your week and enjoy your garden.